joining us once again. We're going to do this on the regular. He did it last year, and he's back here on the Rich Eisen Show, one of the best pass rushers in the business, entering his 7th season in the National Football League. Let's get this right. The 7th overall pick of the 2019 draft. Josh Hines-Allen of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Good to see you, sir. How are you?
I'm doing great.
How's life?
Life is lifing.
Life is life.
Kids are growing.
Okay. Training camp's around the corner.
Training camp's around the corner. I'm excited about that one. I think it's going to be a really good one.
Okay.
Good competition. Ready to work.
Okay. Let's before we do all that, did you bring your hyperbaric chamber with you to Los Angeles, California?
I'm actually going to one tomorrow.
There you go. So I remember our conversation from last year.
Yeah.
I think you brought one to London, right?
Yeah, to London.
Are you going to do that again this year?
Most likely. I don't bring it. They're already out there, so we just kind of set it all. We just kind of set it up.
The Brits have their own chambers. Okay.
Yeah, gets a little hot. Okay. You know, the AC kind of.
Okay.
Can only be in there
when you said you think it's going to be a good training camp, why do you feel that way? What do you think?
I love the energy that we have this year. I feel like, you know, for the organization, consistency has probably been the most, you know, up and down throughout the years. But I feel like this year, it just feels. I mean, everybody's going to say it feels different. But from being where I was at in this organization, I think the coaching staffs, you know, I think everybody that we brought in from the coaching staff has been awesome thus far. Throughout the challenges that we've, you know, competed with every single day, they've been level-headed, competitive, want the best out of everybody, demanding, but also knowing that it's going to take a village to get to where we need to get to. And I think they have the patience. But they also have the assertiveness to get it done, get it out of us right now. First
things first, though, let's just hit the Wayback Machine a little bit here. Were you surprised that Doug Peterson was let go? Were you surprised about that?
Was I surprised? I just, again, that's what we need to change with our organization is just, and I think we're in the process of doing that. I think it's a good coaching staff that can kind of build on and kind of continue to lead forward. And I think if we just get more consistency throughout the whole organization, I think we can continue to keep building on successes that we've had. And I think, you know, hopefully this is the right go-round. You know, I'm going to go out there and do the best I can to play for Coach Liam. And my surprise, at the end of the day, you get surprised. Jalen Ramsey got traded to Steelers for Minka Fett. It's a business at the end of the day. But, you know, I love Coach Peterson. Coach Peterson, he was awesome, and I wish him nothing but the best.
Sure. So what can you tell me, or you're willing to share, about the message that Liam Coen, you just referred to your new head coach, what is the message that he has delivered already over the first, I guess, 8 weeks since he's been able to have you in camp, or 6 to 8 weeks? What has he told you? What's the message?
Competition. It's at an all-time high right now.
People are competing with you. You're not competing for your job, are you?
I got to compete every single day. I got guys coming in, younger guys. I think, you know, you look at my position, guys are coming in younger, stronger, faster. So for me, I have to, you know, I'm a dad of 3. So I got to really find a way to stay on top and really compete with myself and compete with the others and push myself. Because again, you know, what are our limits? What is my limit? I don't know. We'll see at the end of it. So every day, that's my motivation. But again, competition, having fun with each other, really just coming out and doing your best every single day. And again, it's not just him, it's all the other coaches that brings their sort of mindset into us and creates that culture of competition, having fun, bringing it every single day, and just doing our best, because we can't be the best team in the National Football League. You know, we just have to work for it.
And it's been bought? It's being bought by your teammates, that what he's selling? It's
yes,
being
sir.
Bought right now?
I mean, you look at the guys that we brought in, again, it's just, I think everybody in every organization that sits in this chair or anywhere will say the same thing. You know, I think, you know, for us, really buying in for the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Yes.
When you look at our organization, you see what the past, okay, the past was the past. The only thing we can worry about is the now and the future. And I think if we get guys to buy into the now and the future, we have a really good team.
Let's talk about the future here for a bit. Josh Hines-Allen here on the Rich Eisen Show. Where were you draft night?
I was at the draft.
You were at the draft.
I was at the draft.
You were in. So you were in backstage
in Nashville. Yep.
Oh, and no,
it was in Nashville.
This year's draft.
Oh, where was I at this year?
This year's draft in Green Bay.
I was home.
You were home.
Yeah, I was at the house.
Did you have any idea the Jacksonville Jaguars were going to trade up to the second overall?
Absolutely not.
So what was your reaction?
we just traded up to number 2.
Yes.
Like it was literally one of those reactions. I was at my house. I know we had pick 7 or pick
5.
Pick 5. We
Yes,
had
sir.
pick 5.
Uh-huh.
And so I knew we had a little bit of time. So I was just at the house playing with my kids, doing, dad stuff.
Figuring you got about an hour until you're on the clock. Yeah.
And then like my phone just starts blowing up. I'm in a group chat with my financial advisor and another teammate of mine.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, wow, that was a ballsy move. I was like, huh, what's happening? So then you got to go open up Twitter, open up the social medias,
Right.
and we traded up to number 2. I was like, wow. And this is the guy that I felt like, who can help us immediately. I think Travis was the best player in this draft, hands down. And so to have him on our team now, it's I can't wait to play with him.
Well, before we get to him, and I want to dive into Travis Hunter in a second, Josh Hines-Allen, is what message does that send to you in year 7 and the rest of the veterans?
Go get them.
That they went ahead and and did something aggressive like that. What message does that send to you?
I love it. You get what you want, get what you need, and get who you think is going to put value to our team.
Right.
So that's one of the first things that I've seen in our organization that we've done that we haven't done really. To trade, I know we traded up a couple of years ago to get Devin Lloyd to get back into the first round, so that was cool. But to trade from 5 to 2 to get the best player, I feel like that was on the board. It speaks value for what we have building in our organization. I think James has done a wonderful job. I think Tony's doing a wonderful job, and I think just all 3 of them together, I think they're going to bring a type of synergy that can just coop us and make us an organization, get guys in here that's willing to compete, willing to buy in, and who wants it for not only themselves but for their team.
You're referring to James Gladstone, the new general manager, if I'm not mistaken, is only a couple of years older than you.
Yeah, but
it's like an age peer, man.
Yeah, he's a good evaluator of talent. I feel like
well, he comes from the Rams, sort of like Liam Coen as well, and so you're bringing a certain, like, if they're bringing what we're seeing here in Los Angeles from Les Snead and obviously Sean McVay, that's pretty big shoes to fill, but it's a certain mentality that where you're, if for lack of a better phrase, effing some picks to try and get the guy that you want. In this case, you trade a first-round pick in next year's draft to get Travis Hunter now. And you mentioned Tony Connie's going to be in this chair tomorrow.
Hey.
So he'll be here tomorrow. Yeah, exactly. Get it ready for Josh Hines-Allen. So in terms of Travis, though, what has he shown you over the first few weeks being in camp, Josh?
I mean, outside of what everybody else sees, when dancing and having fun outside of there, he's a super competitive player.
How so?
He wants to win. Like, you talking crap. This is the funniest thing I always thought about with Travis. Before we started practicing else, I'm like, okay, if he's going to play both sides of the ball, that's awesome. Have the best playmakers on the field at all times. Cool. But how is he going to respond by, talking crap to each other and then having the next day go to that room with him? That was the biggest thing that I felt like
I haven't thought of that.
he's going to have to challenge, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
and, when you playing with hair, everybody wants to challenge him, because we want to see what you're made of. You know what I mean? And that's, you spend a lot of time on the offensive side of the ball. You're going to have some defensive guys want to see what you're about.
Yeah.
And, we had a lot of that, had a lot of great competition. I love the competitiveness that he has, but I also love the guys that we got that can talk it and back it up and then prove that, like, this is an everyday thing. And he's stepping up to the plate every time. And then the next day, now you have to go in that same meeting room with those guys and correct what you just had, what that person did to stop you or what you did to make a play on him. So I always thought that process right there was going to be the funniest thing. But
how is that working out? Like,
I'm not in those meeting rooms with him. But I know, he comes in. And another thing I like about what Coach Liam does is, when Travis is playing defense, I'll go up to him, hey, throw the ball to him. You know what I'm saying? Like, see if he's going to make a play. And then you see that viral clip that he had. It was literally that play. I came up to Coach and was just like, bro, throw him the ball. We're trying to see what he can do. Literally, ooh, go ball, throw it up, makes a play. And, like, that's why everybody was just so excited on the sideline. And, like, it was a great catch, but it was, you got put on the spot not knowingly, and you made a play. You know what I'm saying? So like just that mindset of, oh yeah, we got one of those guys that's going to be a playmaker for us.
The thing about that play, and I think on replay it would have been
It was incomplete, but at the moment.
At the moment, everybody thought.
Play.
At the moment, I thought that was in fact a catch and a pick. But the thing that I thought was amazing, though, is he turned his head. He didn't make the contact that you normally see rookies get a flag on that sort of thing. He was letter perfect in his coverage, and of course, he also showed the ball hawk ability. That's why he's also a receiver on top of it. Do you think, Josh Hines-Allen, that this guy in this league can play major snaps on both sides of the football for the Jacksonville Jaguars?
I believe so. I think, what plagues every NFL player or any professional athlete is injuries. I think if he can allow himself to stay healthy, and take care of that, get in the hyperbaric machine.
Yes, right.
I think he has a great career ahead of him, both sides of the ball. Again, if he's the best DB, is he the best wide receiver? Who knows? But is he a great playmaker on both sides of the ball?
Yeah.
Yes, he is. And at the end of the day, when you're a team like, us right now, who's in that stage of we have to get it right now, we need the best playmakers on the field at all times. And if he can give you that value, let's do it.
But you've seen the work ethic. You've seen
he works.
Okay.
Competitiveness. Right. Again, that's, and we've seen a competition between not only him, but it brings out to everybody else because, when you come to the Jacksonville, you're going to notice him. That's the first person you're going to go look for. And then you go, okay, who is he competing against? And then now that person right there is put on the spot now too. What are you going to do when the camera's on you? And those guys make plays as well. And so I'm excited about our defense. I'm excited about our offense. Again, I think we got a good, aggressive team and an experienced team now. Adding Jordan Lewis, I think Jordan Lewis is a heck of a player. Eric Murray is a heck of a player. So our secondary already got so much better. And then we added guys up front, veteran guys, Emmanuel Ogba, Dewan Smoot back. Me and Trey is already in there. Then you have Eric moving to 3-tech. So we got and then our linebacker core has been the same for the last couple of years. So they have the unity in that unit. So on defensively, we got a good, solid group. I love Coach Camp. He's somebody that you want to play for. Who brings it, you get the coaches that scream and kind of all right, and then he screams one day and he doesn't scream. No, this dude's intense, but he shows the passion and love that he has for the game and for us that makes us want to play for him. It makes us want to understand the defense a little bit faster for him. So that's always a good sign. That's always a good trait to have in a coach. And that's what I'm saying. I think we're in a good position. I'm ready to maximize off the value that I can bring to this defense and just be the best, defensive player I can be.
And I know you're the hunter, right? You hunt quarterbacks for a living. I understand. And you're a player. You're not in the coaching staff. You're not in management. So that's my long wind up to ask you this question.
Yes, sir.
Your best guess on where Travis is going to play mostly, offense or defense right now, would be what? Seeing what you've seen.
Seeing what I'm seeing right now.
What do you think?
Offense.
You do think so?
I think offense, but again, you stick him on that defensive side of the ball as well.
Oh, hell yeah. He's
going to make a play. And I think for us, it's just communication. If he can be able to communicate with everybody else in the back end, know the difference between, if we're in cover one, if we're a man, if we're in cover two, cover three, how do we play those? Do we carry these? And if he can get those basics out of it, I think everybody else is going to work with him. And then you have guys up front that are just rushing. So now we can get to the quarterback in 2-3 seconds and affect the quarterback, put the ball in the air. Let's see if he's going to make a play, which we know he can. So
listen, I've been saying this from this desk for weeks. I want to see it, but I'm just a fan. I want to see it. I want to see this guy 100 snaps. I want to see him. I want to see him on offense, and I want to see him on defense. Deion's been on this program multiple times saying if you're the head coach of Travis Hunter, now his name is Liam Coen. We now have a name to that person. So he was saying it throughout the draft process. He was saying there's no way if you're down by 7 that you're going to be standing there with one of your best defensive players. He would say the best defensive player on your team, with all due respect, standing next to you. And if you're down by 7, if you're up by 7, you're not going to have your best defensive player stand next to you. And if you're down by 7, you're going to have the best offensive player next to you. Put him out there. Let's see what. And it's not the first time he's tried this. I understand there's a big difference between Big 12 and big time National Football League.
Yeah,
I get it. I get it. But this is not his first rodeo at trying this whole thing out.
Yeah.
And it seems like if he's got a respect from you, that means he's got his head screwed on straight. It's not like he's expecting this sort of thing. He's working his ass off to get it. That's what it seems like to me.
And again, you have offensive side, you got Brian Thomas Jr. You know, a guy
who's a stud in his own right.
Who guys stepped on the scene last year and did his thing.
Yes.
And you expect the same things to happen again this year. So again, all that burden on that side of the ball doesn't have to be put on him. Just catch the ball, make some plays.
Right.
Do what you do. Awesome, because you got a number one receiver out here who we know is going to make a lot of plays. And then you go on the other side, you go look at corner one. You got Tyson Campbell, who's been having one of the best camps that I've seen him have all year. I mean, since he's been here.
Yes.
And so you have another guy that can travel and can, you know, play the offense's best receiver. So now it's going to put you in a better position to also make plays. So again, you know, the pressure is just for him, obviously, to stay healthy and just to do what you do. You know, you have guys that can take the burden, because that's what we are. We're a team. And I think we're a well-balanced team that can kind of help everybody, especially help him. And we want to help him because, hell, one of the best players and I think he's going to be one of the best players in the National Football League at one point. But right now, you know, it's just all about being the best teammate, and I know he is, and, you know, continue to keep making plays.
What insight can you give me in the few minutes we have left here? Josh Hines-Allen of the Jacksonville Jaguars on the Rich Eisen Show. Insight on Trevor Lawrence and his relationship with Liam Coen and how that might be different than the last, I guess, 18 games of his career. What do you think?
I think what Coach Coen is doing, I think he's challenging him. Which he challenges everybody else, but obviously he's in the quarterback room every single day. He's gonna, if he calls the plays, he's gonna call the plays. You know, so I think, but I also believe that he's challenging him every day to make the right throws, to get the ball out, to do what he does, but also challenging everybody else. We need to run the ball effectively. So that puts more pressure on our offensive line, which I believe that they have accepted the challenge and knowing the situations. It puts more pressure on our running backs. We gotta run the ball, hit the gaps, get leaky yardage, but also do pass protection when needed. And then that puts tight end. I think Brenton Strange is going to be one of the best up-and-coming tight ends. He
had a great year last year when Ingram was not healthy.
He did.
Yeah.
And I expect that to lead again. And then you look at the receivers. So I think the pieces around Trevor has gotten a lot better. And I think the expectations for everybody else to do their job a little bit better is going to put more pressure on Trevor to excel. And I think Coach Coen is giving him that push. And, you know, so for Trevor, we just want to see Trevor just go out there and just have fun, you know, do what you do, lead, and take control at the helm, which I know he can be.
What are your expectations for yourself before I let you go? Are you a list maker? Do you put numbers down for your goals? Have you done that yet this year?
I have.
Okay.
I mean,
you want to share them?
For real, it's just, you know, be the best player I can be. I know when I'm healthy and I know I'm in the right position at all times, I know I can be the best defensive player in the National Football League. So for me, it's just to set that standard each and every day. I think the numbers come with the way you expect to play. So for me, it's if I continue to stay healthy, I got 3 more sacks to break the Jaguars career record.
So you could be the best, the most prolific sacker in the history of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Yes, sir. So
you're aware of that.
Clearly. Yeah, 3 more sacks, and I know Tony Bracken's well. Broke Calais' record, who was a mentor of mine, who had the single season. So I broke his.
Yeah.
And so that was a huge accomplishment for me, and that's something I wanted to do as soon as I stepped foot on the grounds in Jacksonville, was to break his record. And so, you know, now it's the career. I know what is in stake. But also, you know, I want to do what's best for my team. We need sacks to compete against the best teams. We got Patrick Mahomes on Monday night. You know, we got all these top teams. They're coming into Jacksonville, and you know, for that, you know, we rely on the offense, but we also rely on the defense. So we're ready.
Okay, very good. Last question for you, sir. I need the honest answer. Not like you're always honest, so I feel silly for even saying that, but I need the honest answer.
Gotcha.
Has anyone gotten comfortable enough with Coach Liam Coen in the first few weeks to bring up to him the way he said Duval in his introductory press conference? Has anyone had the gumption to bring this up to him at all yet?
I don't know.
So you have not.
Duval.
We haven't brought.
I know that
We
was.
haven't brought this up yet to him. Nobody.
We're gonna bring it. You know what? Since you say that, I'm gonna ask him about it.
I think I don't know how you do it.
He put a
Obviously,
little spice on it.
I think he'd like to turn the page on that. We in the media are having a tough time turning the page on that one.
Again, hey,
But I'm just. But nobody has, from the player side of things, done anything on this front yet.
no.
Okay.
I actually kind of like it. He stays in the limelight a little bit longer.
Okay.
So that brings him more attention to the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Well, I mean, I think you would like your win total to
and
do
that's
that.
so it's just like if we can
Right.
keep him in training camp on the hot topic.
Yes.
And then once the season starts, we can bring that up
Sneak it.
and then sneak it in. And so now it's like Duval, but you look at where he's at now. He's coaching one of the best teams in the National Football League. That's the goal.
Okay.
Duval.
Duval. I laughed.
good, man.
I laughed so hard when he said it. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Josh,
I
can
shook
we
my head a
do
little
one
bit,
out of
but
you?
I was like, hey, you put a little swag on it. Hey, that's him.
Okay, that's fine. And then then that can be the new way you say it. You know what I mean? Like then you help them out. No, that's a bridge too far. There's many bridges in
That's-
Jacksonville.
That's his. Yeah, there's a lot of bridges.
I know that. So
Josh, can you give us one?
It's dang, now you got me about to say it like that. Golly.
all right, so let's remember how you do it. Go ahead.
Duval.
Okay, that's it.
Very
Very good.
Yeah, you gotta put a little bit more. Ooh.
Make that a drop.
Now,
mic.
no, I know how it's done. It's just, I just didn't know if anybody's been able to, in a joking manner, with the new head coach who's
He's
challenging everybody.
Man, he's been locked in.
Okay.
You get a lot of the funny side,
Sure.
the unserious side of Coach Coen. But when we step foot on that field, man, he takes helm and he's taking control, and he
Okay.
wants everything to be what it needs to be. He expects, our expectations are high
Yes.
for players and coaches as well. So I think he's been all seriousness.
Okay.
But he also does have that joking side with
That's
him, where you
good,
can
'cause
communicate with him.
You have to. I mean, you
Yeah.
have to in this league. I just know that there's usually some loose joking moments in training camp.
Duval.
I nominate you.
Okay.
I nominate you, not knowing everyone in that locker room, to
ask
be,
him?
to be the guy with the needle.
Well, you may have a couple skits when the rookies. You know how the rookies do the
Yeah.
rookie skits.
Oh, okay.
So you may have one or
Make
two.
them do
guys.
it. Yeah, that's the veteran move. Is make the rookie take the garbage from the coach. That's Josh Hines-Allen. Not his first rodeo. Let's make this a regular thing.
Let's do it.
Anytime you're in LA, you always have a spot here. I always love talking to you and just finding out what's under your hood and what's going on with the Jacksonville Jaguars
Yes, sir.
in Duval County. And I wish you the best of luck in the season
you.
and enjoy the final weeks of your vacation, if
Yes,
you will.
sir.
You
Thank
got
you.
it. Catch the Rich Eisen Show live weekdays from 12 to 3 p.m. Eastern on Roku Sports Channel in the U.S.